This is Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, a podcast and radio program presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan.
Driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
And now, here he is, your host, Jim Ervin.
Baby, I'm home.
Well, hi there, everyone. Thank you so much, Parker. I'm Jim Ervin, and this is Time Signatures. Saturday, November 8th, folks from around the state of Michigan will be converging on Muskegon, and for a good reason. The Killer Blues Headstone Project is holding a fundraiser at Unruly Brewing, and those in attendance will be treated to not one, but two, count them two, great blues musicians. The evening's headliner is Detroit's Queen of the Blues and two-time BMA recipient for Best Soul Blues Female, the incomparable Thornetta Davis. However, the act before her is another incredible bluesman. He is the 2011 BMA nominee for Best New Artist, and he also was nominated for the 2011 Blues Blast Award for Best New Artist, Song of the Year, and the Sean Costello Rising Star Award. He also won the Michigan Jammie Award in 2011 for Best CD, Best Blues CD and Band of the Year, Producer, and Song of the Year. Man, what a mouthful. And finally, he took the 2014 Jammie Award for the Best CD and Best Blues CD. Following a brief hiatus from the band scene during and after the COVID pandemic, he is back with a hot new band. Now, here to talk about all the cool news happening over on the Sunset Coast of Michigan, a gentleman I just got to know this past summer, and a guy I have really come to appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to introduce Vincent Hayes. Vincent, I told you I was going to get you here, man. Welcome to Time Signatures. How are you?
How you doing, Jim?
I'm great.
Great, man. Yeah, I know. We've been talking all summer and become pretty good friends at this point, and I'm kind of a late bloomer on your show here.
Well, you know what? Better late than never. That's pretty cool. But you know, while I was preparing for this, I not only listened to your music, because I always do when I'm writing an interview up, and I always write them the day of or the day before. I also got a new package in the mail. It's the 5 CD Gary Moore disc set. And among them is Gary Moore's Blues for Greenie. Have you heard this?
Oh, I have. That's excellent.
Oh my God. 1995 album. Okay. It's a complete cover album of Peter Green's music. And of course, he was the founding member of the Fleetwood Mac band. But I didn't know that he used Greenie on a lot of the songs on this album.
Oh, so, yeah. Well, Peter gave him that guitar.
Oh man.
When he had his freak out and he stopped playing and started growing his fingernails and all that.
Yeah.
Gary was like one of his best friends, and he gave his guitar to Gary. And I believe Gary recorded a lot of his hits on that guitar.
Man. See, that's the thing about the blues, man. Every time I go down the rabbit hole, I learn something new, and I've always enjoyed some of Gary's music, but this entire album is just incredible. But look, man, we gotta do business here. I'm sure you know the drill. Just in case you don't, let me roll this out to you, sir. I'm here to get stories, and while we talk about the news of the day, I'm going to just dig in a little bit, and I want to ask you how you initially got involved with playing guitar, Vince.
Wow, that is something I don't think we've ever discussed. Yeah. My family was very musical on my dad's side. My great-grandfather learned to play when he was working the railroads in Indiana and Michigan back in the early 1900s.
Okay.
And legend has it that he was taught how to play by a couple of blues guys that were working on the railroad.
Wow.
And he taught it skipped my grandfather. He just didn't have an interest in music. But ironically, my grandmother played Hawaiian guitar, and I think she did a little slack key.
Okay.
But I never heard her play. But my father and his brother, my uncle, were both taught by my great grandfather. And so I grew up with my dad playing guitar in the living room. And then when he was in high school, before he joined the Navy, he was in a really popular rock band on the lakeshore. And they used to do all the lake dances here for the kids back in the 60s. So he was there at the birth of rock and roll, playing the covers of bands as they were becoming, hits. He was one of those bands, like playing Beatles songs where they were still on the top 40 kind of thing.
Now,
Yeah.
how old were you when you got involved in this, when you picked up the guitar for the first time?
Well, the first picture of me with a guitar was 2 years old, sitting on my grandparents' couch with some big guitar that was in the living room, and it had a busted string, and I had it flat on my lap, and I was just kind of doing that number on it. But I didn't really learn how to play any notes or chords until I was probably about 7 or 8. And my dad got me started playing my first position chords, strumming Dylan tunes, Beatles
Nice.
tunes, just bits and pieces. And then I started taking guitar lessons from a local music store, an instructor there. And I started learning how to improvise a little bit. Um, and just kind of went from there. And of course, in that era, I was a child of, I was born in the 70s, but I grew up in the 80s.
Right on.
So, I grew up playing all the music of the day and all the heavy metal riffs of the day and whatnot before I got into blues.
Well, and that's a good springboard to the next question, because I know that your path was not always in the blues. But as you got into the instrument, talk about your early influences when you discovered the blues, if you would, please.
Yeah. First time I really fell in love with the sound of blues was at a New Year's Eve celebration in Kalamazoo in the middle of the town square.
Oh,
And they used to
wow.
have music at all the churches around that park that's downtown.
Okay.
And I was dating a girl whose family went to that every year.
Okay.
So they invited me to come out and stay with them that night and enjoy this big New Year's Eve festival. So her and I were bouncing around between these churches, checking out the different music acts, and they had classical violin, and they had some opera singers, and they had some folky people. And then we stumbled in one of these churches, and I don't remember who it was, but there was a guy playing blues piano.
Oh, wow. Like boogie woogie piano?
Yeah, yeah, just like
Wow.
Otis Spann style type
Yeah.
Chicago blues.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh, I'm staying for this whole thing. and and then I think it was maybe a year or two later, I started picking up some of these like best of the blues compilation tapes that were in the nice price bin at the department stores. And I had like Elmer James, Muddy Waters. Let's see who else was on some of those. Otis Rush was on some of them.
Okay.
Um, John Lee Hooker. So I was in my last year of college, 93, when I really, really like realized, okay, I've been going to school 5 years. I've, got to do something about this compulsive disorder I've developed for this music. And I had an Ibanez guitar that is an XV500. If you look it up,
Okay.
it's stretched out like a Gibson Explorer. It was pink and purple with black hardware.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, there's no way I'm going to learn how to play blues on that guitar. And I don't know what exactly drew me to the Telecaster from the beginning, but I knew I needed a Telecaster because I just kept picturing myself kicking back on the couch, playing blues licks, sitting out on the porch, playing my blues licks on my Telecaster. And one came up in the paper, and it was 10 years old, and I bought that Telecaster. And 2 days later, sold my Ibanez for the same price I bought the Telecaster for.
Oh, man. Wow. What a
And
deal.
yeah, and then it all started there. I spent the whole summer sitting under a mango tree in Hawaii at my girlfriend's father's house with my little headphone amp on and my Walkman plugged into it, playing to those best of the blues tapes. And that was the summer I discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan too. So I picked up Couldn't Stand the Weather. And
Oh, man.
so that was my summer, sitting under a mango tree with my Telecaster, trying to learn how to play these blues riffs.
How cool is that? So here you are, you're working on getting yourself established, learning on getting your chops together, trying to get things rolling. How did you get started with building a name for yourself musically in the area before the
Uh,
formation of the band?
Almost immediately.
Okay.
I I started playing gigs locally for a couple of years and just like variety cover bands and little duos. and I was looking for my people and I couldn't find my band. I would go out and watch a lot of bands in the area. My favorites were Jimmy Stagger, Junior Valentine, Harry Lucas and the Lowdown. All these guys were incredible bands and had incredible guitar players. And they were playing, 4 or 5 times a month, all within a 30-minute drive of where I lived in Muskegon. Sometimes even in Muskegon in those days, this was like late 90s. There would have been 3, 4 blues bands playing in town on the same night in a weekend. So my buddies and I would just go from one to the other, catch a set, that kind of thing. And I started to hit it off with Jimmy Stagger. He is to this day my mentor. And we call him the godfather of West Michigan blues. Jimmy, I'm going to take credit for giving him that title.
Okay.
Because I used to tell everybody, you got to come see this guy. He's like the godfather of West Michigan blues. And now when people talk about him, they go, oh, the godfather, which is ironic because you got to meet this guy and know who this guy is. And I don't think you're very familiar with him.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get a chance. We'll talk about the date in a few minutes, but I'm hoping that he'll be there then.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to get him out for that.
Okay.
So
all right.
Jimmy did a tour with Bucka White.
Oh, wow.
And so he cut his teeth with Bucka White back in the early 70s. So I'd go out and see Jimmy, and buy him a shot of whiskey or whatever. We'd get chatting. And then after, I don't know, short amount of time, he started telling me, bring your guitar next time. So he started letting me get up and play with him. And that was my first exposure to really playing in a band on stage that was playing blues. I'd been performing since I was 9 years old.
How cool.
But right around that time, he plays mean slide. Old school swamp blues, Delta blues. One of the best slide players I've ever heard. So I bought an acoustic and I started giving my press kit to some of the festivals and getting little opening slots, playing 45 minutes acoustic. So this would have been between like 97 and 2000, 2001. And so I was doing the festivals in Michigan as a solo acoustic artist. And that was the time that I hooked up with Steve Salter when he had the Killer Blues CD and t-shirt business. So when I wasn't playing, I would help him out. And we were doing shows down in Kalamazoo for the Winter Blues Series or the Kalamazoo Blues Festival and things like that. And just started learning how stuff worked and started meeting a lot of the performers. They would bring their CDs and their merch to our table to sell for them.
Oh, wow.
And then
cool.
I'd get backstage and watch and observe, ask questions. And sometimes I would be on the bill as an opener too, which gave me like the whole weekend pass backstage. Well, then I started experimenting with 35 millimeter photography and I would show up with my camera. So when I was done playing, I'd throw my Canon AE1 over my neck and walk around the grounds and sometimes get shots of the artist backstage and sometimes on stage.
Nice.
And I even got one photo on the cover of the Blues Festival Guide of Buddy Guy.
No kidding. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a copy of that when I gotta find the negatives. Oh, I'm gonna print it and give it to you. You'll love it. Yeah.
All right.
He's doing the wow, had the Jerry curls still. Anyway, so that was kind of like the whole beginnings of it all. I just dived in head first, man.
Well, I like something that you said early on. You said you were looking for your guys. Is it safe to say that you were kind of on a mission to find the right people to form a band with? Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's very specific. You were not just grabbing anybody to play. You were looking for a good mix.
I've always understood something that I think is crucial for any front person. If you're going to front a band, especially by your name, and you've got to have a chemistry with your bandmates, and you've got to have bandmates that understand the music and enjoy the music. And so, yeah, started really paying attention to the guys that were back in the back lines of the other bands in West Michigan. And eventually I got a couple. Yeah.
Very cool. And I noticed something about you that is an endearing quality, but it's a difficult quality for some people because you're not one that half-asses things. You and I had a discussion a couple days ago about, because I would love to see you come up with something new, and you're like, I'm not doing it. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
When I'm ready, I'll bring it. And I think that speaks highly of the type of a person that you are. Over the course of your 35 career, you've gotten to share the stage because of this with some not just big names in the blues, but massive names in the blues. Talking B.B. King, Buddy Guy. But you've also played alongside other legendary bluesmen and women, including Geneva Magnus, Tommy Castro and the Painkillers, Lonnie Brooks. Oh my God. Ronnie Baker Brooks, his son, Donald Kinsey, and of course, Michigan's Larry McRae, just to name a few. That's some kind of a list you've compiled, man.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't just to no, I didn't play with Lonnie Brooks. I opened up for him. That was
You shared the stage with him, man.
I played with Ronnie, but I didn't play with Lonnie.
Okay.
Yeah. That was in the solo days. I opened up at the Kalamazoo State Theater as a solo artist before he went on.
You know that they just sold and they're going to be reopening, right?
Yeah, we've talked about that. That's pretty
good
cool.
News.
Hopefully that will work out good. Yeah.
Now, talk about that little jam you took part in back in July when I met you with Larry and a couple of the other guys. That just looked like a lot of fun, man.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. For being a 95-degree day, yeah. And I believe that's where we met face to face.
It was.
Yeah. So as you recall, yeah, we were going through those bottles of nice cold water.
I'm glad I brought them.
Larry is, in my opinion, Larry is one of the top real deal guys that's left from the old school, and
yes,
he is a total gentleman. He's a scholar.
Yes.
He is a master of what he does. And yeah, I don't know if I can say anything. I can keep talking about how much I enjoy Larry and all the good things about Larry. Larry's amazing.
Well, it just, watching, especially the young guy that was up there, he couldn't have been more than 19 or 20, that was up there. And then you got called up, and there was another musician who's a regular, well-known musician that got called up there. But you guys just looked like you were having the time of your lives up there jamming with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a big deal, man.
Well, yeah, you're playing on stage with a world-class band and a world-class blues artist, and one of the things I think that when you saw like all of us just like looking at each other like what really, like we were doing this really quiet thing, playing with the dynamics, and then he brought it up a little, and I thought, okay, well, that's where the song started out. And then he did the kind of thing like I would do, or like Buddy Guy would do. And he goes, kick it in. And okay, we all start kicking it in. So I'm grabbing the first solo because I'm closest to him. And then he screams over at the whole line of guys and he says, everybody solo at once. And all three of us and Larry were soloing at the same time. Like I said, you're crazy, dude.
but and it was funny because I was looking at Larry and I was watching him. As a matter of fact, the cover photo, if it's still there, let me take a peek real quick. The cover photo on my personal page is of you guys together. And I'm not sure if it's on my page or if it was on the photography page. But it was wonderful. I mean, it just, and Larry's looking at you guys smiling and just having a good time. And that's what the blues is all about, right?
That's exactly what it's about, man. If you ain't having a good time, you shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So here you are, kind of fresh back on the scene because you did not take a full break from music because you were doing your solo work as opposed to working with a band. You've also changed the band name from the Vincent Hayes Project to simply the Vincent Hayes Band. So tell me, what's on the horizon for this new iteration to the band, and talk about them for just a minute, would you?
Absolutely. Well, as you know, but a lot of the public doesn't, we lost two of the original members of the Vincent Hayes Project over the last couple of years. In 2023, we lost Donnie Hugley, our drummer. And then this past year, we lost Steve Gok Yankee, who was our piano player from Lansing.
Yeah.
So last summer was the summer, that was the first summer I came out with a band since COVID. So of course, you know, I talked to my good old trusty bass player, David Alves, and he was already working with a drummer, and he recommended that we, you know, give him a shot. And honestly, from the beginning, from the time that Donnie Sr. passed away, his son and I had discussed him coming in, Donnie Jr. And I really wanted Donnie Jr. from the beginning. But he wasn't ready. He was still, you know, his dad's passing was still very fresh, and
Sure.
You know, it's I guess a challenge when you're going through personal stuff, and then you're I'm going to take my dad's seat in this band, you know. So you know, we gave him time, and we did some other shows, and we had a good time playing as a trio last summer. That's when I opened for Ronnie Baker in Muskegon, and then he invited me to get up and play a couple. And then things kind of settled down towards the end of the summer, and then come around this year, my bass player has suffered some very serious health problems, which I just canceled gigs for 4 or 5 months. And so let's just deal with this and not put pressure on trying to find somebody to fill in and all of this stuff, just to have a few gigs. So during that interim, Donnie Jr. said, "Hey man, I'm ready." Well, then a friend of mine came into town, who is from Muskegon, and he visits every year, but he lives out of state with his wife and his kids. And he's a very popular musician in the area. And he said, "Yeah, we're going to have this jam down at the Rake Beer Project, and come on down and play some old school tunes with us." And it just so happens that that was our keyboard player, JD's jam. So, you know, we played for a couple of hours, 2 weeks in a row at his jam. And I just said, "Hey man, you know, you ever think about playing blues?" And he goes, "I've been thinking about it a lot lately." And his background is jazz, and more experimental jazz. So I said, "Really?" You know, like, he says, "Yeah, I really want to get into blues, and really thinking it's time for me to branch out. And I've always loved it. And I want to learn how to do it." And was that bell on your end?
Nope.
Oh, I just got a little bell on my end. Okay. Must be the app. Yeah, so JD came into the mix, and we started rehearsing this new lineup as recently as, I want to say it was the last week of August, maybe the last couple weeks.
So that was like right after you and I met, because we met in July. So you got serious with this quick.
Yeah. And you remember how, like, all summer I told you, you know, that was my mission, was I'm going to find my guys before the end of the year here, you know.
Let me interrupt you for a minute. I want to know, I have to ask, did my excitement for your music generate a little more interest in doing it and getting it done? Because
well,
it's
didn't
like,
take away from it.
Well, no, because I remember that first conversation that we had, and honest to God, man, anybody that's listening or watching, we spent an hour and 45 minutes easily on our first phone call as I was traveling from Muskegon back to Lansing, and it was all the way home. We talked all the way home. And I remember you talking about, you know, wanting to, you were seriously considering getting back at it, but you didn't quite know yet for sure what you were going to do. And speaking of Larry McRae, guess who's calling me right now?
No.
Straight up, man. Straight up. I'm going to have to call him back.
Well, tell him I've got to call him too in the next 2 days because Greg won't leave me alone about getting one of his CDs.
That's cool, man. Of all people to call me while I'm doing an interview, it's him. But anyway, it was exciting to me because I got to hear Reclamation, and that was the first album that you gave me to listen to. We worked out a deal and traded for a poster of Albert Collins, as I recall, for the CDs. But that was the first, you told me, start with that album. And it was like having dessert first. There's no need for the rest of it. That album right there set my appetite. And I went, damn, this guy's got some skills.
Oh, thank you.
And I got to tell you, man, I've told you before, I'll tell you publicly now, I can't wait until you get the recipe right and you come to me and go, hey, guess what? We're going to the studio next week. That's what I'm waiting for.
You'll know it. You will be one of the first people to know, Jim.
I'm sure. All right, let's talk about November 8th. Now, I happen to know that you and Mayor Salter are longtime friends, so it's no surprise that you're part of this event. But what's on your plate for that evening? You got any surprises for us that you want to share?
We didn't talk about my sax player.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Go ahead.
Sorry. But that is a surprise. I mean, not to you.
Let's talk about the sax player.
So I have wanted a sax in the band as long as I can remember.
Sure.
And the old project, we couldn't find our sax guy, and we went with 2 keyboard players, and it worked. It was great. But I still wanted to add at least a sax, if not a full horn section eventually. I just love the old school big band, all of the layers of melody and the syncopation. We've talked a lot about that, but yes, yep. That's so this guy has been a West Michigan legend on saxophone. He plays with the Blues Avenue Delegates, the West Side Soul Surfers in Muskegon, Carl Webb Band, whole bunch of regional favorites. And I've been jamming with him for probably 25 years, just at jam sessions, or he'll come down and sit in with, a duo that I'm sitting in with or filling in for or something. So his name is Dan Jacobasi, and he has been, he's 5 weeks into this now, and he's a monster on saxophone. He's got great tone, great feel, and it's like that extra, it's just like putting that little bit of hot sauce on it, I
was going to say, are you liking the sound that you're hearing from this, the whole mix?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
We're still crafting it, we're still finding our way.
Well, sure.
Communicating with each other. And I'm talking about everybody because it's so new. We're 3 months in, 2 shows, one with the sax, but it's the blues, and you just play it. And eventually it takes form, and somewhere along the line, hopefully you find your own little sound with it, and with the right ingredients. That is one surprise that we'll be bringing on November 8th. And the other is completely revamping any songs that we covered before, along with our originals. We are completely revamping the style and the song list themselves. So
we're going to hear we're going to hear some of Reclamation as well.
We got a couple of those. Yes.
Nice.
Just a couple.
I know that. Well, that's okay. You've got a pretty good body of work to pick from, so I get it. Now I know that you're working on getting things in place, website and all of that, but is there a place we can send people to learn a little bit more about you in the interim?
Like as far as current kind of staying updated.
Yeah.
I will have the Facebook page for this band up by November 8th, if not sooner.
Okay. Okay.
and it will be just under the Vincent Hayes Band. So just search the Vincent Hayes Band on Facebook, and that will have to suffice until I can get the new website up. And I know you know this stuff, but I'll just let people know who happen to be listening that my website, my domain got hacked almost 2 years
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
So the original vincenthayes.com now belongs to some kind of web bot company that sits on domains, and you know, I don't know what they do with them, but
Pirates them or whatever
pirate them or put them
when they
on,
expire. Yeah.
yeah, the auctions.
That
And
happened to mine too.
during COVID, there were some things showing up on my music page. You know, people kind of hack in and start posting stuff that you're like, what is that? Ads and weird things. So I blocked that, and then I just kind of stopped paying attention to it. And I don't know, one night I just decided to delete the whole thing because I realized, well, I'm going to be doing something new now. And I didn't think about the fact that I could have transferred that over and changed the name of the music page, but it was more geared towards the old band, and that's why I
Gotcha.
deleted it.
So
So all
you'll
new
have
stuff.
you'll have things in place. That's good to know. And what we'll do is we'll make sure to share that information because these videos are up here forever. So we'll make sure and add when it gets going. We'll put a note in there for the meantime, and then when the link gets live, then we'll put that in there as well. Now, I would like to talk about the details of this event one more time. Coming up on Saturday, November 8th. Where is it? Excuse me, how much does it cost for tickets? And where can they get the tickets?
So okay, as you know, this is a benefit for Killer Blues Headstone Project,
Indeed.
and this is to raise funds for putting money on the grave sites of deceased blues artists who do not have headstones.
Yes.
The organization has done 175 so far, as Steve told you the other
That's so
day.
cool.
I
Yeah.
know. And let's see.
Where's it at?
It is at Unruly Brewing in Muskegon. That is on Western Avenue downtown.
Okay. And we will make sure to have the address there. How much are the tickets?
The tickets are $20 in advance, which you can pre-order at killerblues.net. And you
Mm-hmm.
can also look up the Killer Blues Headstone Project on Facebook, and there's a link on that page. They're being held at will call, so you just pick the tickets up when you get there. Otherwise, they're 25
Wonderful.
bucks at the door. Doors open at 6. We start at 7 and play till about 8 o'clock or so, and then Thornetta goes on after that and plays as long as she wants to.
That's wonderful. And
Can't wait.
as I understand the venue is a little smaller in size. Is that correct?
It seats over 300, so no,
Oh,
it's pretty good
okay.
size.
All right. I've got bad information. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's
don't know
got a
where I
nice
heard
big
that.
stage.
Okay,
Yep.
great, great. And
Yeah.
good lighting too, yeah?
Oh yeah, they've got a whole pro sound system, pro lighting, and
Beautiful.
it's a very nice venue for seeing shows.
Well, I will have my video camera, I'll have my still camera, I'll have my audio recorder. I'm going to give you so much stuff that you're going to go home with a great big pile to sort through so you can use it for your website. How's that?
Bless you, sir.
Vincent Hayes, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time, man. I'm genuinely excited to be with you all on November 8th for this absolutely incredible event. It is absolutely worth your trip to Muskegon, if only to support the Killer Blues Headstone Project, because I'm told that Stephen already has a list of more headstones that need to get placed. And we owe it to Stephen, we owe it to these musicians so that they don't lay in an unmarked grave. And God bless the man. He's really doing a yeoman's job here. Yeah, just wonderful. As this episode comes to a close, I want to tell you about the Killer Blues Headstone Project. Imagine that. Stephen Salter started Killer Blues in 2008 with the goal of making sure that no blues musician lay in an unmarked grave. To date, Killer Blues has purchased and placed nearly 200 headstones in close to 20 states, but there's a lot more work to do. In fact, as I just mentioned, he's got a list of several more headstones in need of funding and placement and he needs your help to get it done. So whether it's $5, $50, $500 or more, every dollar raised goes to this worthwhile project. Please consider making a tax-deductible donation today at killerblues.net and look for the donation link at the bottom of the page. And as always, thank you so much for your consideration. And that wraps up this edition of Time Signatures. Once again, my thanks to our guest. He's my buddy. Looking forward to seeing him, Vincent Hayes, but also to you. For without you, none of this would be possible. Jim Ervin reminding you, keeping the blues alive is everyone's responsibility, but preserving the history of the blues, one story at a time, that's my mission. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks, Jim.
This has been Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan. For more information on cabs, visit capitalareablues.org. You can find this episode and past episodes at lcconnect.org. The Time Signatures theme song, Michigan Roads, is used by permission and was written by Root Doctor, featuring Freddie Cunningham.
You know I'm trying, baby, driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
Until next time, keep on keeping the blues alive.